just a percentage of them who don't agree
right
with you.
That's just everybody, because everybody is a whole. I mean, I still have almost 800,000 followers. It's not like and then I have 200,000 on Twitter. It's not like I've lost my complete fan base. I've lost the fan base that are woke, to the left, the radicals, extremists.
You know what else?
That's the group that is so outraged by me.
I'll tell you what else, David, which has become very clear to me, is there are a lot of people who are very jealous of my wife. You know, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's funny, and she has zero filter. She really does speak her mind. And some people don't like that because they want to be able to do it, but they can't. So they're mad that she gets away with it, that she gets to do it. And I think that's a big part of it. I think they're jealous of her. They're jealous of her success and her beauty and maybe her happy marriage, and they come after her.
Well, I think that, like, you know, they'll pick anything to pick on me or twist things. For instance, that Drunk Wives Matter hat. That Drunk Wives Matter hat was given to me at my bridal shower. It's because I'm a housewife. We get drunk and it matters, like literally. And I just got a Facebook from my friend Tamra. She's Black, and she wrote Wine Wives Matter, like another one. And she's Black, and people went after her. And she's like, it had nothing to do with the movement of BLM, even though I don't believe in a Marxist group. I believe in all lives matter. I believe in Black lives, and I believe I'm not a racist. I mean, I grew up with African-Americans my whole life. My best friends are African-Americans. I don't know how they could have twisted and turned something that was a joke.
It's an easy accusation to make, and it doesn't require any proof, and it can stick. And so they found something they felt would stick to you and hurt you, and they stuck with it. But I can tell you, it's nonsense.
It's so ridiculous. And I think that's like another thing, that you get these liberal woke radicals that everyone's racist. Like, they love to throw that word out. Yeah. Everybody's a racist. And it's irritating. And I think that I have such a loving fan base that are completely normal. Like, they are hardworking people. They don't take from the government. They're not, you know, trying to find ways. That they have a great work ethic. And those are my followers. And I'm truly, honestly believe, like, go ahead. Like, I don't need those kinds of people on my page. I don't need that negativity on my page.
Right. Like, it has to be freeing just to be able to, where are you guys in the, oh, well, that's fine, Rick. Hey, where are you guys in, yes, welcome back, in the, you know, the stages of grief? Like, you know, it took Vicki Gunvalson a while to get over her exit, you know, from RHOC. I'm not so sure she's over it. No shade to Vicki. Like, where are you guys in that? Like, have you fully moved on? Is it still lingering?
I saw Vicki, and
I saw that.
And I talked to Tamra all the time. Listen, this was a big, huge part of their lives. They did it over 10 plus years. That's in any, I mean, you worked there for Fox for 24 years. It's got to be hard sometimes, I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, in any.
It isn't. You know, like when major news happens, which is very often, I'm like, oh, normally I'd be jumping, you know, and to cover that. It's kind of nice to not have to. In your situation, I mean, it's a little different. You know, you had a
5-year run. I had a 5-year run.
You worked a few months a year for good money.
I only worked a few months a year for really good money. However, there was a lot of negativity towards that, you know, being on that show. And to be quite honest, my daughter didn't want to do it anymore. She was like, I'm not getting paid. I don't want to do it. And it was like, okay. And it was the climate that's going on right now. I'm glad I wasn't on this season.
Well, we both think that they would have come after her pretty hard this year if she had filmed. They would have come probably after me, after our relationship, and after Kelly, you know, because she's so outspoken and her views don't necessarily line up with some people at the network. So we think that they might have targeted her had they brought her back.
Yeah.
So in a way, we kind of, you know, avoided more heartache. And we're having a great time. And by the way, Fox took very good care of me on my way out the door. So I am able to do this without any worries, but neither one of us is done working. So, this podcast is a way for us to keep our foot in the door and to create content.
And people love it. And that's what makes us keep going, because the amount of, if you just go on Patreon and you read the comments, it's like, oh my God, we're doing something good. And, even though, like I said, the people that are, some of the people that watch Bravo think, oh, I'm not using my platform for good. Well, the people that are like-minded like me think that I am doing good. So,
Right.
I am doing something good. So I don't know. I mean,
and we're able to express ourselves. And that's the other thing that I just think is for me, it's so liberating. I think maybe for Kelly too, because, being a news correspondent for all that time, I could never share my opinion about anything. I had to bite my tongue on stuff, and we all have opinions, but I couldn't really post stuff that because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want my bosses to come after, hey, what is that? You can't say that. And Kelly would get fined when she would say things that some considered outrageous or against the grain. She would get fined for it. So she had to be careful. I
got fined for wearing a Drunk Wives Matter hat, and I didn't even buy it. It was given to me at my.
And you didn't wear it on the show.
And I didn't wear it on the show.
It was at a party, and you posted one
picture.
It
was at my bridal shower, and I got dinged for that.
Yeah. So
and I didn't buy it.
And that was off. Wow. And how much did you get dinged for that?
I got $16,000, and they wouldn't tell me why, but I know it was one of those reasons was that wearing that hat was one of the.
It was like general behavior.
It was general behavior of why I got charged $16,000. They wouldn't give me specifics, but I know I caused them a lot of grief because they did promote BLM so much. They had Braunwyn on there who was full of shit. Who doesn't even have one black friend, by the way, and it's in Dave Quinn's book. And she says doesn't have any black friends in Orange County. Well, I do. I have about 10 really good friends in Orange County, and they wrote that in that book.
Yeah, I couldn't believe we saw that in the book that Braunwyn said the producers came to her saying, hey, can you bring any of your black friends on the show? And she was like, I don't have any black friends in Orange County.
There's no black friends in
Kelly
Orange County.
I can't even tell you how many. I mean, they hang out.
I hang out with them all the time. They're coming to our parties.
And she's like, well, no one ever asked me.
No one ever asked me
to bring my friends on the show.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's it's water under the.
But I also have a lot of Asian friends. Why? I mean, it's like I'm Mexican. A lot of Mexican friends. Why does it have to be so segregated? And it's like reverse racism. If I feel like, like your daughter called me a white passerby, or what the hell is that? I come from the freaking west side of Phoenix, yo. Like, you can ask my dad is more Mexican than anything.
Well, you were the most racially diverse person on that show.
And they're keep calling me.
Who would have thought, right?
I grew up.
I mean, have you seen her 23andMe? It's a rainbow. It's a literal rainbow.
It's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch the new season?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to have I know everybody on there.
We're going to do a second show every week just to break down the Housewives.
And I already know what happened and what's going on. So
now, when you break down every week on your podcast, Unmasked, what happened? Are you going to be neutral, or are there certain people maybe that you may not be able to remain neutral towards?
Well, Kelly's not going to be neutral on anything. What are you talking about?
I'm going to be neutral as far as like the people that I know. I mean, I don't have a problem with Gina. I don't have a problem with Emily. I don't have a problem with the doctor Jen. I know Jen very well. I know Noella. I know Nicole James, and I'm good friends with Shannon. So I'm going to be neutral. I already know what's happened. So
maybe I misunderstood the question. I just meant that you're not going to hold back.
I'm going to be neutral, except with Heather Dubrow. I hate her. And I already know that she's going to get slammed this season.
Well, I was going to say, now, like I said, I was there in November. Why is it that every time I went to Mastro's with Lynn Curtin, she was my friend too, why don't I ever run into anything when I go to Mastro's? You guys run in every time you're there.
You probably went on the wrong night, but
you probably went on the wrong night. You have to go on Friday nights or Thursday.
It was so funny how we went to
run
Mastro's.
into them every time. Or when I go to Javier's, they're at Javier's. They only go to 2 restaurants in Orange County.